What is up, friends, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new around these parts, hello. Thank you so much for clicking. I am pouring myself a glass of water because this is going to be not the longest of Plan With Me's, but definitely the longest of voiceovers that I've done in quite some time. I'm super excited for this spread because this is the week we went to Disney and Epcot, which is why I'm using my Tomorrow kit from my shop, which is still weird to say. But is very much a thing. So if you're interested in the Tomorrow kit, you can still pick it up in shop. It's just cafewithanna.com. And I usually try to remember to leave it linked down below. And I'm out of breath, clearly. So let me take a second. Let me take a sip of water and we'll do this thing. Okay. We're back. So, as far as foil, I have like just a plethora of foil here, like so much foil. It's basically a mix of Kristen's Planner Co. foil. There's some Alicia Craft foil, I think, in here. There's also some Planet Hannah foil in here. So there's just a lot of foil. It was a mixed metal moment. We did hollow, we did sparkly hollow. If you have specific questions about any of the foil that you guys see while it's in use, let me know and I'll let you know specifically where that foil is from. But it's just a pish posh of various foil shops in hollow and sparkly hollow, and I loved how it turned out. I feel like the spaceship underlays from Planet Hannah were just made for this kit, in my opinion. They're just a perfect match for the Epcot Spaceship Earth. And it's just perfect. It's perfect. So I love that. And then I had to bring in the snack underlays from Kristen's Planner because, you know, Epcot, you kind of just eat. You do a whole lot of eating at Epcot. So anyways, yeah, I love how this spread turned out. It was so fun to lay down. We did so much stuff. So we're just going to get started. This is obviously a longer Plan With Me than I typically upload, especially for a voiceover. Like usually my really long Plan With Me's are talk throughs, but decided to do a voiceover for this one because my house was just not quiet enough for a talk through. But I think I did end up doing a talk through for next week's or the next Plan With Me. You guys will see basically. So as you can see, the undo came out really quick. I definitely was not doing my best work during this spread. I think it's because it's a Disney spread and it puts you just a little bit more on edge than your normal spreads or any like special spread because you want it to be so good. So, but it's fine. It all ended up working out. Thankful for some undo in my life and it's all good. But yeah, I think that's about it. So let's get into this trip because I've been dying to tell you guys about it. Dying. So let's go. So I must say this trip was everything, just about everything I needed it to be. Like we had, I feel like so many wins for us, like so many like, yes, like you should have gone on this trip moments. And I'm sure I'll share some of those throughout the day by day, but it was just so nice to feel that way. And because we didn't do all the parks, it felt way less hectic and way more relaxed, which is exactly what I needed, like exactly what I needed. So I am so happy that it turned out that way, honestly. Okay, so the first thing I need to tell you guys about immediately is the hotel that we stayed at, y'all. You guys. Those of you who are Disney heads and follow DFB, AJ, I feel like AJ is my best friend at this point. Like me and AJ, we pals. Not really, but in my head. So if you guys follow DFB, AJ always comes with the tea. Like I feel like she gives us the tea always. So she had mentioned a new like hotel near Disney that had all these perks. And I forgot, like this was like right before we were kind of like really in the planning stages. Like we were floating with the idea of going. And then I was starting to do some research and I was like, what was the name of that hotel? Well, it's called the Drury Plaza. You guys, the Drury Plaza. You guys, I need to tell you about this hotel because it's so good. So first of all, it is a good neighbor hotel, meaning it's on Disney property. You get some of the Disney benefits, but it doesn't submerge you in Disney. So if you are like, I don't know, going on your first trip, or if you're taking your family, like your kids for the first time or something, and you want to be immersed, this is not the place to go. This is like a standard hotel. You're not going to find any Disney magic really in this hotel. However, if you're like us who just wanted like a cheaper option, something that's near the park, something that still gives you some benefits, this is the place. Also, value-wise, unmatched value-wise. So when this particular hotel, the one in the Disney Springs area, because there is also one in Universal, we're not talking about that one. We're talking about the one in the Disney Springs area. I think it just opened in December, so it's fairly new. It's, oh my gosh, you guys, I loved it. We loved it. Like, we're talking about when we can go back. And this is just the hotel. So let me tell you what you get. First of all, there's no resort fee. There is a free hot breakfast, and like usually like a free continental breakfast you see every once in a while, where you get like pastries, maybe cereal, like very basic kind of things, coffee. Like this has like, there was eggs, there was sausages, there was waffles, there was pancakes, there was some variety, bagels, fruit. What else? I think there was a place for you to get omelets. We never tried it, but I think there's a place for you to get them there. And then of course they had like the coffees and the juices and things like that. So they had that every day included in your stay. Also included in your stay was popcorn and soda. I think it was like 4 to 8 that they had it available every afternoon. Also included in your stay is what they advertise as the kickback. Also, I should say, I'm not being sponsored, although I wish. I wish I had that kind of clout, but your girl ain't being sponsored. I'm like legit excited. So they have this thing that they call the kickback, which they advertise as being snacks, like a snack from like 5:30 to I think it's 5:30 to 7:30. Where you can go and just eat some snacks. You guys, no, it's not snacks. It's basically dinner. They give you dinner every night included in your stay. Bro. What? So like, I'll give you some examples of the things they had. They had like chili one day with like baked potatoes. They had, they always have hot dogs, I think. They had pulled pork sliders, they had meatballs, they had mashed potatoes, they had veggies, they also had biscuits and gravy for breakfast. Sorry. What else did they have? They had a chicken Alfredo, pasta. Oh my gosh, like those are not snacks, you guys. Those are like full-blown meals included in your stay every day. And then, you guys, as if that wasn't enough, you get each adult in your party that's staying in the hotel gets 3 alcoholic beverages per day. Y'all, where else are you seeing this? If it's not an all-inclusive resort, I don't know where else you're seeing this. This is insane to me. It is, the 3 alcoholic beverages is during the kickback. Like that's the only time you can get them. But still, you get 3 of them every day. Now, granted, if you're spending a lot of time in the park, it's likely you won't be around for kickback. That's 100% valid. But if you have like a day off from the park, or you're doing a more low-key stay like we are, or you're only going to a couple parks, or you just want to stay in the Disney Springs area, but you aren't going to the parks, you guys, that's 2 covered meals. Like, are you insane? This is cray-cray. It's cray-cray. It's cray-cray. And like, we booked it. So now I think you can book it through their website. But when we booked, I feel like every time I tried to go through their website, they would say there's no rooms available. So we had to book through Disney, and we booked it like a Disney package, like hotel tickets, yada, yada. So we booked it through their, through the Disney website as a package. And I think it was like probably 180 to like 195. I can't remember exactly what it was, but probably somewhere around there per night. You guys, like, you paying that to stay at like Pop Century. And not a single thing is included as far as food goes. So like, I think it's incredible. They have shuttles that go to the parks. I think you do need to reserve them ahead of time. Although when we went, there really wasn't anyone like taking them, really. There wasn't a lot of people taking them, so we didn't have any issues. And even when we checked in, the girl was like, yeah, you guys probably don't need to reserve, it's just you two. But if you're going with a big group or you're going during like peak times, so if you want to take it, you know, to rope drop, or you want to take it after fireworks, probably a good idea to reserve your spot. But they have shuttles that run basically every hour to the parks, basically, give or take. And then what else? You do have to pay for parking. So if you're bringing a car, just know you have to pay for parking. It's like $25 per day. But like, other than that, there's a pool, there's laundry, there's the whole dining area where they do the food. There's an arcade in there. There's a little gift shop. What else? They have like a splash pad for the kids. They have a hot tub. I think a hot tub too. It was great, you guys. Like, we just fell in love, and we were like, okay, so I'm in the planning stages, right? I know I haven't gotten into the plans yet, but it's fine. We're in the planning stages, and I'm looking at all the benefits. And I remember sitting, like, my boyfriend was sitting next to me, and I'm like, oh my God, this seems too good to be true. I was like, let's YouTube this, this is how we research things now. We don't even Google. We do Google a little, but you know what I mean? I feel like we YouTube things all the time. So we YouTubed like the hotel, and we found people that did like room tours and things. And there was one girl who did a tour, and she stayed in everything and like reviewed everything. And she was talking to one of the workers there who was giving her like some background on the company. It's like family owned and like things like that. Some history about it or whatever. And we were like, you know what? We're going to see this dude when we go. Like, we were like, we're going to see this dude when we go. And I kept telling my boyfriend, I'm like, I feel like you and him would be great friends. We definitely saw him when we went, and we loved him so much. He was so great. I feel like he was the highlight of the hotel, and everybody was great. Like, customer service was great. The room was clean. Everyone was very nice. Like, I just cannot rave enough. This hotel. I can't rave enough. I just cannot rave enough. Anyways. Again, not sponsored, just super excited. And we're probably going to go back. Who knows when, but we're going to go back. I highly recommend, if you're in the midst of planning a Disney trip and you want to save a little cash and maybe save on food a little bit, I think it's worth looking at least. Considering, I should say. Anyways, I'm sure by now, I think the last time I checked, their room rates were like $240 or $250, which is definitely more than we paid. But still, considering what you get, I think it's a better value than staying on some of the Disney property resorts. Just saying, just throwing it out there for those who might want to know. Okay, now that I'm done with that, we can start to get into the day by day. If you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them down below. Like, you have questions about like the stay, if it's something you're really considering, or if you're in the middle of planning. Happy to answer if I know the answer, but if not, obviously, you can hop on their website and give them a call. Everyone that we interacted with was absolutely great. So, okay, onward we march, friends. Onward we march. So let's start with Monday. I don't think I ever said I'm planning for the week of April 17th. I just got too excited because it's my kit and I think it looks cute. So anyways, starting on Monday. Monday my mom had a follow-up, like a doctor's follow-up. So I had to bring her to that appointment. She's doing much better. Thank you so much for all of those who wished her well. I'm so appreciative of y'all. She's doing so much better, like so much better. Although today, real time, you guys, I got the appointment time wrong and we missed our appointment. So you win some, you lose some. But that was Monday. And then I did a ton of laundry because it was just about time to get ready. Actually, we flew out on Tuesday. So yeah, I was doing laundry to prep for the trip. And then I did some packing, and I was definitely feeling anxious this day because, well, you know, I don't love flying. I don't think it's a secret. I do not love flying. So I was definitely feeling kind of anxious. And we checked in for the flight, and then I had a very late nail appointment. So let's talk about that. I know this has nothing to do with Disney, but we have time. So y'all, I had my very late nail appointment. I like to go there in the morning because like no one's there. But I never set the appointment on time. So I had a really late one, and then I realized that it's not like the nail salon is still there, but it's different owners. You guys, when I tell you I walked in and I was like, what the F is happening? Like, where are my people? Because none of them were there. And like, it was fine. Like, they were nice enough. But like, you know, when you're used to something, like, why change it? And that's what they did. They changed So, not my favorite thing in the world. And like the nail tech that did my nails, oh, you guys, I'm obsessed with this overlay that I did with the Mickey head on the monorail double box scene. Oh, I think it's so cute. It just reminds me of a little postcard. But anyways, so the nail tech that I had was like very chatty and talkative, and she was just asking me so many questions. And I think it was her way of like building rapport and like, you know, building a clientele, because I think she could tell that I wasn't one of her normal clients. Well, she probably definitely could tell that I wasn't one of her normal clients. So I think she was trying to like build rapport, and I was just so turned off by it because there was so many questions, like so many. Like, I'm fine with like, hey, like, what do you do for work? Like, yada yada, like small talk, fine, whatever. It's not my favorite, but I'll deal. But this girl was like, oh, or do you live near your parents, and are they retired? And I'm like, what? Can you just do my nails, please? Like, I don't want to. I don't have the bandwidth right now. Just do my nails, please. I'll tip you. Just do them. So it wasn't my fave. So now I feel like, yeah, it might be a minute before I do them again, because I don't really want to do them with her. But then that means I need to find a new nail salon. So I'm not excited about that. So I'm telling you this because if you notice that my nails are not done lately, that's one of the reasons, at least. Also, we're trying to save a little cash, so that might be the other reason. But anyways, yeah, that was pretty much Monday, and then I just finished up packing. And flying always makes me anxious, so I feel like I probably had a hard time sleeping on Monday night, and excitement too, because I obviously was so ready for vacay. Then Tuesday I was up early to go to my hair appointment, which luckily that hasn't changed, thank God. But I was up early. We had a later flight, but I just wanted to make sure I gave myself enough time because I didn't want to be rushing, and I'm already anxious, so I didn't want to be stressed out. So got up early, went to get my hair did some chores, like light chores, like sweeping up and taking out the trash. I don't know about y'all, but I really like to leave my house clean when I go on vacation. And I know some people are like, what's wrong with you? Like, you're going on vacation. But it just eases my mind to walk into a clean home instead of walking into like a trash home when I get back. Because then it's really like, okay, it's time to really, like, reality just hits you a little harder when you need to come in and clean up your house because it's a mess versus when you come into a nice clean house. So I did my best. I did some light housekeeping because, again, we had a later flight. So yeah, we did that. We had breakfast, and then we drove to like a nearby bus station where they then bus you into the airport. It's the easiest way, and parking is just so much cheaper than actually parking at the airport, which is actually highway robbery. It is highway robbery. So yeah, we did that. And as you guys can see here, I tried to do my day by day in the planner. You'll notice that I get tired of that very soon, and then I just take the pages out. I think it's when I get to Wednesday and I start to have to deal with the rings. So yeah, if you guys see that, don't be alarmed. Anyways, so we got to the airport, and the strangest thing, you guys. So we were going into the TSA, like, security checkpoint. And there was a dude in front of us who I think worked there, but he just was so, like, he was arguing with one of the other employees. I'm assuming because he had to go through security. I don't know what the issue was, but it was like that awkward moment where we weren't sure if we needed to check in with that employee because we were like entering the line. So we're like waiting while they're arguing, and we're like, should we be just walking around this, or should we be waiting because we need to check in? So it was awkward. And then like they finally let him go, but he just kept running his mouth like the whole time he was in line. I'm like, bro, like, you're in the line. Like, you were able to get in. Like, it's going to be okay. It was not going to be okay for him, though. So that was awkward AF. But we got through that snafu. Otherwise, everything else was smooth. We got through checkpoint, and then I bought some snacks. And then we got on our flight. It was pretty smooth. And then we got to the airport. We ate at the airport. The Orlando airport has a lot of food options, like a lot of food options, especially with that new Terminal C that they have now. They have a lot of options. So we ate there because we thought it'd be easier since we weren't renting a car to do that, versus like pay for an Uber to bring us somewhere else. And then we got to drop off the luggage at the hotel. So we were like, let's just eat at the airport because we got in late because it was a later flight. I think we landed at like maybe 8:30 or something. And then I felt bad because we were eating at one of the restaurants and it basically looked like they were like ready to close, but they let us sit down. So I didn't know, like there were people eating in there, but it seemed like they were clearly like wrapping up shop. So then I was like, maybe we should go. Because then eventually those people left and it was just us. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize when you guys closed because there wasn't really a sign as to when they close anyway. So I don't know. It was weird. But alas, we ate. It was fine. It wasn't anything to write home about, but it was fine. And then we took an Uber to the hotel and it was so nice. And it was so nice. It was so nice. We were on one of the top floors and the views were great. Which actually I'm pretty sure. So we checked in. This is another reason why this hotel is bomb. So we checked in and my boyfriend was like, oh, could we get like a room with the view, like maybe on the upper floors or whatever. And she was like, we don't really have like a room with the view, which they definitely have rooms with views. I think she meant like a view of, like the Disney park side. We just wanted a view. Like it didn't have to be that side. I think that's what she meant. But I think she ended up upgrading us. Well, we definitely got a room with the terrace, which was not what I booked. And then I realized later that it was more to have that room with the terrace. So I think they just upgraded us for free, which I think was the sweetest thing ever. So I just love this place. And then to finish out the day, we scored a Topolino's reservation. So excited. Topolino's in the Riviera. We scored a breakfast reservation, which is so hard. Like so hard to get. It's the character dining one and I wanted to get it so bad because I've heard so many good things, of course, from AJ of Disney Food Blog because she raves about it all the time. So we got that reservation. I was so excited. Oh, and it was so good. I can't wait to tell you all about that. So that was pretty much Tuesday. Moving on to Wednesday. I woke up, I think I was sleeping on and off because I just have a hard time sleeping in anywhere that's not my bed. But we had a very early morning reservation at Topolino's. I think it was for like 8:20, maybe something like that. 8:30. I don't know. Something like that. Maybe it was even earlier. Was it like 7:20? I don't know. It was an early morning reservation. So we got there and we got there before like the restaurant even opened. And we got seated at a table and then we asked for like one near the window because it's on the top of the Riviera Resort. So obviously the views are beautiful. And we got it because we were there so early. Like we basically were there when the restaurant opened. That's when our reservation was. And they were like, oh yeah, I think we can accommodate this. And the waiter was like, this is like the best seat in the house. Like this is so hard to get normally. And I'm like, well, look at us go. It was great though. The food is so good. The food is so good and the character interactions are the best. The best. They're so fun. We just had so much fun with them. So that restaurant they have character dining, I think, just for breakfast. And we met Mickey and Minnie and Donald and Daisy. And it was just so fun. They're just so fun to interact with. Was it No, Mickey, I think, scared my boyfriend. So he came up behind him and he was like telling me like with his finger to not make any noise. It's so great, you guys. I'm so annoyed I didn't get it on camera. It was the best. And I was trying so hard not to bust out laughing because he was like doing the whole bunny ears thing and it was just hilarious. And then my boyfriend finally figured it out and I was like, I'm sorry. I thought I was going to give you away, Mix. I really did. But it's just such a fun time. There's so much fun. And I feel like that character dining is really a good experience. Like it's less character-y dining style than normal. Not style, but like, I guess ambiance. Like it's just a different ambiance. When I think of character dining, I think of a lot of singing and dancing and prancing. And there was a little bit of that, but there wasn't a ton of that. It just felt more like a sophisticated character dining, if that makes any sense. If you've been, let me know down below. We loved it. It was so good. We had so much fun with the characters. And then we got some beautiful views from the terrace outside after we ate. It was so nice. And since it was earlier in the morning, the like temperature was perfect. It was just great. It was fantastic. I also marked, I can't forget to mention this, but I marked towards the top with a little baby Pua Munchkin from Once More with Love that it was Katarina's birthday of the Narcoleptic Planner. Shout out to Kat, who's amazing. Amazing. So I had to make sure I marked that. And then after breakfast, we went to the Vineland outlets just for grins because it wasn't a park day. So I was like, what are we going to do now? I was ready to explore. So we decided to go there and I bought a couple things. And yeah, we had a good time. We hung out and then we went back to the hotel, hung out by the pool. We got some drinks, some guac was delicious. And then we had a reservation for Ohana, which, oof, you guys, I've eaten at Ohana before, right? And I was just like, the last time I ate there, I was like, oh yeah, like this is fine. Like, okay, tell me why I was obsessed with the food this time. Obsessed. Of course, I left there feeling like actual garbage because there's just so much food. There's so much food, but the freaking noodles are just so good. The noodles, the dumplings are so good. The chicken is so good. It's just so good. But let me tell you, you need like 5 stomachs to walk out of there without just feeling like a garbage. So we basically rolled ourselves out of there. And yeah, my stomach didn't love that, gonna be honest, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. So sorry, y'all. So that's the first half of the week. And good. We're starting on Thursday. I'm right on track. Also, I know I'm not going exactly through each sticker, but if you guys have questions about any of the stickers that you see, like where they're from, just let me know down below. I feel like it's just easier for me to tell the story as I put them down than to like explain each one. But if you have questions, let me know. So then moving on to Thursday, this was Epcot day. So we had breakfast at the hotel and then we were off to the parks. And let's see, we went on the Nemo ride first and then we went on Living with the Land. We went on Soarin'. We went on Frozen Ever After. And then I really wanted to try Frushi. So in the Japan pavilion, there's a booth that sells Frushi. I think it's a staple pretty much for Flower and Garden, the Flower and Garden Festival every year. And I was like, I'm trying it because there is a YouTuber that we watch that raves about it. And I was like, this is my time. You guys, I'm obsessed with Frushi now. It's so good. It's so good. Like I went in, there was no line, first of all, which was fantastic because some of those booths have some long lines. So I got my Frushi, I had it, and I went back and got more Frushi. Like literally with the same cashier. I was like, hi, I'm back because the Frushi is so dang good. And she was like, I'm so glad. So we're obsessed with Frushi. We went to the Isla Fresca booth, which is usually the one that has like the most Caribbean, like Latino plates. So we tend to love them because they give us a little taste of home while we're away from home. And we're usually not eating what we would typically eat at home anyway while we're on these trips. So usually. So they had I think it was a vegan tres leches. And then they had like a braised oxtail dish, which is like common, I feel like, Caribbean dish. I've never had oxtails. I tried it. I hated it. I did not like it at all. And then the vegan tres leches was okay, but definitely not amazing and definitely not as good as a regular tres leches. So I ended up just being absolutely obsessed with Frushi and then not loving Isla Fresca, and going in, you would have thought it would be the exact, or at least I thought it would be the exact opposite. So, yeah, so that's the food. And then we wanted to go on Remy's, but the wait was too long, and there was like no lightning lanes available most of the day, which was kind of annoying. But alas, I kept hoping and waiting that the line would go down, and it just really never did. So I wasn't able to get on Remy's, so I was bummed about that because I really wanted to get on Remy's. I know that the Guardians, the Guardians ride is there, and I know people love it, but I am not a roller coaster girl at all. I'm not a thrill ride girl. It's just not how I thrive at all. So that I did not go on, but yeah, I was bummed about Remy's, and I thought my boyfriend would want to go, but he was like, no, I'm fine with not going on it. So I don't know. I feel like he was a thrill ride guy, and now either he's not one or he just doesn't want to go on it alone. I'm not sure which one. But anyways, then we took the gondolas to the Riviera. We took it back to the Riviera. We rode the gondolas so many times this trip. Just because it's just such an easy option to get to so many different areas of Disney. So we rode it to the Riviera, and then we took an Uber from there back to our hotel. And well, we ended up at Ohana again because I was so obsessed with the food. Of course, again, my stomach was like, Ho, what are you doing? And I was like, I'm eating really good noodles. And it did not like that plan at all. So I was still really uncomfortably full, but it was so delicious. So it's fine. And then this was the day we met Kevin, which is the dude that we saw in a YouTube video that works at the Drury. So it was so funny because we were like, we've seen you on YouTube. You're like famous. I mean, we were joking about the famous part, obviously. But he was so sweet, and just the customer service, again, phenomenal. If you guys seek out Kevin, you won't be disappointed. He was so great. So great. But yeah, that was it for Thursday. Moving on to Friday, let's see, what do we do? I think it was a Disney Springs day. You guys, okay, this is worth mentioning. If you are going to Disney Springs, try to do the east side drop-off. Do not do the west side drop-off. Sometimes you can't control it because buses drop off there, especially non-Disney buses drop off there. We took, I think this was the day we took the shuttle from our hotel to Disney Springs. I'm sorry. The shuttle from our hotel to Disney Springs, yes. And they drop off on the west side, and you have to walk so much. Like, I don't know why they have it set up like this, but it is obnoxious how much you need to walk to get to the entrance of the park. It's irritating. Whereas the east side is nothing. Like, it's nothing compared to the west side walk. So if you can avoid, even if you're doing rideshare like Lyft or Uber, do the east side drop off. Do not, if you can help it, do not do the west side unless you really like to walk. If you like to walk, game. You'll be great with the west side. If not, do the east side, because the west side is a hike. It's a hike, and it was so annoying, especially in that Florida, Orlando heat beaming on you. Not cute. Not cute. So we were walking in Disney Springs, you guys, and we sat down under a tree. And my boyfriend kept looking up because there were birds there. And I was like, I don't know if he said it or I think I said it. I was like, oh no, these birds better not poop on me. Not 10 seconds later, what happened? You guessed it. Y'all, I was so pissed. I was only pissed for like 5 minutes, but I was so pissed. I had to go into a store and grab a napkin. It was just embarrassing. Like, I yelled, oh my God, so loud when I saw it. I was like, oh no. Like, I think I scared some people next to me. I was pissed. Anyways, it's fine. Everything's fine. After I got over my anger, I went and looked around World of Disney. I don't think I got anything. I was just kind of browsing. There's just so much in there, and I didn't want to go ham. And then I saw Gideon's had a super long wait, but I decided to just put our names in the virtual queue. I wasn't even like committed. I was just like, let's just stick our names in there, because we went to Disney Springs for a lunch reservation. We had a reservation at Homecoming. So I was like, you know what? We're going to eat now anyway. By the time we're done, maybe we can just grab something to go. So I put our names in. We went to Homecoming and had their, I think they call them like honey thigh-high biscuits, like chicken biscuits or something. You guys. Oh, it was so stinking good. It was so good, y'all. Okay, I see I'm already on Sunday, so I'm going to try to put some giddy up in my plans. Afterwards, we went to Gideon's and we got the banana bread chocolate chip cookie, and the peanut butter cold brew was next level. I feel like I don't always say good things about Gideon's, but it was so good. So good. And then we pretty much just hung out in the hotel by the pool. We had dinner at the hotel, and it was great. We just kind of chilled, and we had some leftovers from homecoming to eat too, plus our cookies and sweets. So good. And then on Saturday, we had Mallorcas, which are like these really delicious sweet bread sandwiches, like breakfast sandwiches, like eggs, bacon, cheese, the whole nine. It was delicious. We went to see the Mario movie, which was super fun. I love that movie. I think I was talking about it in another Plan With Me, but I really loved it. It was so good. And then it was kind of a low-key day, honestly. We had a really shitty Uber driver, like not my fave at all. He was just not a good driver. But it was fine. And then Flo came to try to dampen the day, but it was all good. And then Sunday, we had brunch at Boma, which was okay. Like, it wasn't amazing. I think the Boma dinner is better. And then we just hung out at Animal Kingdom Lodge, which is where Boma is, and saw some animals. And then what else did we do? I think we did some resort hopping, and then we just had another chill day by the pool and dinner at the hotel. There really wasn't a ton on Saturday and Sunday to share, but that is the first week of the trip. And here is my spread. I'll be continuing telling you guys about next week when we finished up the trip in my next Plan With Me. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Here I am giving you a little Viv wiggle, which we miss Viv so much over here. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up, as it really does help support the channel. Thank you so much for watching, y'all. Let me know down below if you have any trips to Disney coming up, or to Florida, or any trips this summer that you're excited about. Let me know down below. All right, y'all. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see y'all real soon. Bye.